With the SAG Awards coming up, all eyes will be on that red carpet. And sometimes celebs are telling us a little more than we know, perhaps, with their body language during awards season. Maybe saying something without ever saying a word. Joining me now to talk through exactly what the positioning of a red carpet pose might mean is body language expert Blanca Cobb. To decode it all, Blanca, thank you so much for being here.
Of course, my pleasure.
So now I'm going to be analyzing what you meant by this. I'm going to think about everything from here on out. I can't wait to learn and get some insight from you, especially on one of my favorite women to watch this award season, Lady Gaga. So E.T. is at every major awards show, and what we've noticed is she does a lot of blowing kisses. She likes to give kisses. So what exactly do we think that might say about Lady Gaga?
Way of connecting with her fans when she's blowing kisses to her fans. It's a way to connect. It's a way to show affection. And she even does it with Bradley Cooper. She leans up and she gives him a kiss on the cheek. You know, she's already said publicly that he believed in her. They have this great relationship. So it's just a way of connecting and showing affection.
And she really does it, though. That's the thing. I mean, you know, you might see somebody blow a kiss occasionally, but like we just showed in the montage there, she does it over and over. And when she and Glenn Close won that tied Critics' Choice Award, she gave Glenn the smooch. She also holds Bradley Cooper's hand quite a lot, and her fiance's hand as well, which makes more sense. But you really see that connection with her and Bradley and how they hold hands on the carpet, despite not being romantically involved.
Yes, but there's a distinction in the way that they're holding hands. So what they're doing is they're cupping. It's palm to palm, which is very different than when fingers are interlaced. Fingers are interlaced. You generally see that more with romantic couples. Some romantic couples will still cup palm to palm, but this is a way of showing affection. They're close. They worked together for a long time on this film. I mean, they have a relationship. They've talked about their friendship. Many times. And he's provided support for her. You know, when her friend died of cancer, he was there for her. They just have a really strong, tight bond. And when you're close to somebody, you're going to reach out and touch. It's very normal. And then particularly you have to think about this, their culture. They're both Italian, and culture plays a lot into who you are and how you express yourself. And we do know that with the Italian culture, they're very warm, very passionate, very affectionate people and expressive, particularly with those whom are in their close circle, who they're fond of.
Blanca, you just blew my mind with that. I never thought about that. The cupping versus fingers intertwined. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to be looking at everybody differently now. What about Emily Blunt? She has been all over this awards season, playing Mary Poppins, of course, also in A Quiet Place, which just got nominated for an Oscar. Now, she is an expert at posing on the red carpet, always looks amazing. We've noticed she does one hand on the hip a lot. Now, you know, I will say, look, this looks good in pictures, so I think people do it a lot so that their arms look really good, look defined. But is there another reason she might always go for the hand on the hip?
One, it could be comfort. Maybe that's her go-to move. And when you're feeling good and when you're feeling confident, you are going to take up space. So if she puts her hand on her hip and then she has the hip pop, where the hip jets out just a little bit, that makes it more sexy.
Oh, she does do that hip pop. Mm-hmm. And we also see her with her lovely husband, John Krasinski, on the red carpet. And we were really looking at how the two of them pose together. She does this a lot. She puts her hand on his chest. What does that say to you?
Well, when you put your hand on your partner's chest, or generally a woman will do it to a man, what that signifies is that she's feeling close. That's a way of getting close. It's also a protective move. It's also territorial, letting everybody know that he is taken. But it's also a way to get physically and emotionally close to your partner.
I like the protective thing. I see that about the two of them because they get on these red carpets together and there's a lot to navigate, you know, photos and interviews and all that, and they really navigate them together. One bright shining star this season, Timothee Chalamet. He's made waves with his red carpet looks, but he's also really worked the one hand in the pocket look all awards season long, we've noticed. What does that mean for this rising star?
Typically, when you put your hands in your pocket and your thumbs are in your pocket also, it indicates that you're unsure, that there's something that's unsettling for you in the moment. However, having said that, when you're looking at someone's behavior across time, which is what we're showing here on the screen, that signifies that that's part of his baseline. That's a comfort move for him. It's just how he typically stands. But you'll also notice his feet. He shifts his weight back also. So not only does a hand go in the pocket, it's how his stance, how he puts the foot back and he's shifting that weight on that back foot. That's just part of his baseline behavior.
But that also makes sense to me, Blanca, what you said about that little bit of unsureness, only because I've interviewed Timothee a couple times, and he's still so new to it all, and he's so beautifully accepting and exciting about where he is. You know, he's like, oh, I can't wait to meet this person or this person, but you do still see him finding his footing. He's not somebody who's been in the industry, and especially at these awards shows, very long, so that makes sense to me. Maybe a little nervous, but finding his comfort zone.
Exactly.
Blanca Cobb, thank you so much, body language expert, and we will see all these celebs on the red carpet at the SAG Awards. Thank you, Blanca.